On today's show, it was a goalie-perfect weekend for the Ottawa Senators. We'll recap back-to-back shutouts over the Florida Panthers and Columbus Blue Jackets.
We'll take a look at playoff clinching scenarios, and we have Adam Coplan on to talk about his walk to the CTC.
This is Brady Tkachuk, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
You're Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome! You are locked on to the Ottawa Senators, the only daily podcast covering the Sens. Out on the outskirts of enemy territory, I'm Ross Levitan, alongside Brandon Piller up in the Blue Mountains. Today's episode's brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel to get started. Today is Monday, April 7th, and Pilsy, I am more excited about the Ottawa Senators than I have been since Mike Hoffman's went posting in Game 6 of the conference finals in 2017.
Ross, that seems like a lifetime ago, and because it kind of was. There are some Sens fans that have never experienced playoff hockey. I mean, my nephew turned 8 years old. He's a diehard Sens fan, had a Tim Stützle birthday cake, and he has never seen Ottawa Senators playoff hockey. So it's so good that we're finally getting to a spot where we can feel comfortable talking about this. We don't have to say the P word like it's some forbidden curse word. We can say playoffs. Moneypuck.com has the Ottawa Senators sitting at a 99.99% chance to make the playoffs. And we'll get into what needs to happen to get that 0.01% uptick to bring it to a nice even 100% chance.
Yes, playoff clinching scenarios on the other side, but let's not get past the goalie-friendly weekend for the Ottawa Senators. Two different goalies played. Two different goalies get shutouts, and the shutout streak is now over 150 minutes. The Senators allowed that goal against Tampa right after they scored their second one in the game on Thursday, and it was a clean sheet in the third period, and then no goals. Like, both home games, Pilsy, you cannot draw it up any better than that. Now, did they bend, not break on Saturday? Oh, for sure. The score was not indicative of a 3-0 game for the Ottawa Senators, but especially this time of year, don't tell me how you're going to win. Just do it. And that's what the Ottawa Senators did. They got timely goals. Their power play, it looked good at times. It looked awful at times. Power play goal on Saturday was a thing of beauty, but that might be something to work on based on how it went on Sunday. But to chase the opposing goalie on Sunday in 4.5 minutes, like, this was an amazing weekend for the Ottawa Senators. I know I'm going all over the place here right now, but I just want to group these two games all together. Sens won 7-0 on aggregate this weekend. Let's go.
And especially, Ross, to chase the goalie in Sunday after that team is coming on a back-to-back. Like, Dean Evason was like, I know Elvis Merzlikins just played hours ago, but this is so bad 4 minutes into this game that we got to put him back in. It doesn't matter. Like, oh, man, hashtag goalie-friendly show. I feel bad for Tarasov. That is a tough look having that happen to you. But the Columbus Blue Jackets got sensed. That's what happens, baby.
It's not our place to be talking about another man's coaching decision, but the Columbus Blue Jackets, I think, needed the win against Ottawa more than Toronto. I was shocked to see that Tarasov got the Sens game.
And Ross, that's why I'm glad Justin Peters, likely a listener of this show, listened to me as I said the proper way to approach this weekend was Forsey on Saturday. Oh, what happened? Oh, just a 40-save shutout. And then Allmark on Sunday. Oh, what happened? 30-save shutout. Yeah, that's how you get it done, because the Columbus Blue Jackets game, in my opinion at least, was a more important game. And you could see, Ross, the look on the Blue Jackets players on the benches when that game was coming to a close. They were like, that we just squandered away pretty much our only hope to get back in this thing and sneak into the playoffs. And everything we've worked for all this year, we were in a playoff spot for long stretches of time. We were kind of had the team of destiny with
Maryland.
What?
Well, the Maryland saved the season.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the Blue Jackets.
Oh, sorry. I heard Team of Destiny. I was like, yeah, we are.
Yeah. I mean, the Ottawa Senators feel like they're the team of destiny. But the Blue Jackets, this was really like a feel-good year for them, and they were oh so close to getting it done. And that game, that's, I would say, pretty much the nail in the coffin, especially when it's a team you're chasing. So great play by the Ottawa Senators this weekend. If you find a way to win against Florida when you are by far not the better team, and then on Sunday you figure things out and you become the better team. So that's the duality of the Ottawa Senators right there.
Well, our good friend by AI Sens, which is not an AI account, it is our good friend always in the postcast chat. He's been following up on our most important games list, and this was back when all these teams were in the mix, and the only blemish is the loss to the Montreal Canadiens. We had highlighted 11 games down the stretch of the final 19 that were must-win games. The Senators are 7-1-0 in those games as it stands right now. This is an incredible final push, and you want the team to be at its best going in to the final weeks of the season and into the playoffs. The playoffs are around the corner for the Ottawa Senators, and it's all because of the way they've been able to stack wins on top of another. Last season, the year before, if they had lost to the Buffalo Sabres, not once, but twice in the matter of a week, the wheels would have come off. There's nothing I'm more convinced about. That one loss would have turned to 3 or 4, but they bounced back each time and were able to win the next game and then win the game after that. Both times they win 2 in a row. It's just the resilience of this team is what I want to keep going back to and hammer home. And you need that in a playoff series, because if you lose game 1 on the road, all of us, even if you lose the first 2 on the road, the old saying, you're never in trouble until you lose at home. And I truly believe this team would take that approach just based on the way that they are finding ways to win games. It seems like it's different every game, right? There's games where they come out like the Blue Jackets game and score too early. There's games where it's 0-0 going into the third period, and they're finding ways to get points in all of these games. You got to credit the veterans that Steve Staios brought in. They're all having impacts in their own way. And David Perron, what a great story. I mean, he gets the third goal. That we did his splits. He's almost at exactly 20 games on either side of the ledger. First 20 games, 1 goal. Next 19, he's got 8 goals. He was a -11 in his first 20 games. He's a +8. Every player on the Ottawa Senators last night was at least +1. Every single skater, all 18. Everybody had their hand on it.
Well, I don't want to get in the way here. Oh, no, you're right. I thought I saw a 0 there, but you're right. I like that.
Forsberg was even.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll give that to him. Well, no, technically, he's a +4, is he not?
Forsberg? He sat on the bench all game.
Oh, Forsy, yes, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm in a loop now. But yeah, this is just awesome by the Ottawa Senators. Like I fully, Ross, going into these games up against Tampa and Florida after losing to Buffalo, I was like, oh man, this could be a situation where we see a free fall here. And I even said, I'll be happy if the Senators find a way to get 1 point in these 2 games.
You were suffering from post-traumatic Sens syndrome.
I was, especially when it comes at the hands of the Buffalo Sabres, who, by the way, have been one of the hottest teams in the NHL.
They're 7-1 in their last 8 games.
Yeah. So I'm just so glad things went very differently than how I was worried they were going to go. And look, it doesn't happen without the goaltending. I know we can highlight other players that really had good performances, but it comes down to the goaltending when you get back-to-back shutouts, a 40-save shutout, a 30-save shutout up against teams that are, in rival positions. Columbus is chasing you. Florida, who we're also going to talk about, only 2 points ahead of the Ottawa Senators now. To be able to shut the door like that is just incredible. And I would argue, Ross, that when it comes to playoffs, you can go from a round 1 exit to a Stanley Cup final all based on how your goaltending goes. And if you have this kind of confidence in your goaltending like the Ottawa Senators do right now, you're poised to at least go into every game feeling like you have a chance to win.
Okay, so with that said, lots of good this weekend. When is Fabian Zetterlund going to score a goal?
I don't know. If you would have told me, Ross, at the trade deadline, who's going to score a goal next, Nicholas Matinpalo or Fabian Zetterlund, I think I would have laughed you out of the room. But Matinpalo, a net front slot goal for his first of his career is absolutely insane. And and Zetterlund still snake bitten. He does get an assist in last game, so he's got 2 assists now. But I don't know. Marsh and I were talking, Ross. This
on the postcast, you can find it everywhere you get podcasts.
Yes, thank you. Good plug. This reeks of a situation where he's going to be snake bit for the rest of the season, but then come playoffs, he's going to score an emphatic game-winning goal that everyone's like, we don't care or even remember what happened in the 18, 20 games since he came here from the deadline.
He's Oleg Saprikin.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good example. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be the Bobby Ryan effect where underperforming so much in the regular season is going to be overshadowed by an amazing playoff run. But Saprikin, actually, that's a much better example.
Oleg Saprikin had 12 games with Ottawa. He only scored 1 goal in the playoffs, but it was a game winner, I believe. Yes, it was. It was the game winner, start of the third period in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I just remember the Ottawa Citizen headline. "So freaking awesome" was the home or the front page of the Ottawa Citizen that year. But hopefully Fabian Zetterlund can get it going, because it's not only affecting Fabian Zetterlund. Tim Stützle's only reason to play at 5-on-5 right now is to get Zetterlund the puck. He wants it more than Zetterlund does.
Tim Stützle, this guy, I've never seen someone pass a puck when you are all alone in the slot like Tim Stützle. Like that play where the Blue Jackets turned it over. I think it hit Zetterlund's skate, and then Zetterlund gets it over to Timmy, and it's Timmy all alone, and Drew there, and Drew's like, surely there is no way Timmy's going to try to pass me this puck. And he does. And Drew's not ready for it because he's like, what the heck are you doing passing that? Like, I couldn't help but laugh at that situation. Like, that is just classic Timmy. We love him, though.
We love him. And he's going to come through, man. And he's hitting. He's got his B game. When he's not, I think he's got a goal and an assist in his last 8 games. And I want to say they're both on the power play. But either way, what we're seeing is a B game from him. He's hitting. He's getting in the mix. He's getting in scrums. Let's just see him put the puck in the net. It speaks to depth on this team, that even though your number 1 player is struggling offensively, your other top player is out of the lineup now in Brady Tkachuk, and they're still finding ways to stack wins. We've got more on the other side. Shout out to our everydayers who are riding with us, making us your first listen each and every day here. That was the final back-to-back weekend, 7-day-a-week Locked On Senators of the season. And oh my goodness, they are making it easy to come to the quote-unquote office with the Saturday-Sunday victory train that they've been running all through January. And now again this weekend. Last weekend, they get 3 of a possible 4 points with the overtime loss against Pittsburgh. But it is just incredible to see the growth and determination of this team. On the other side, it's all but X'd on the standings. How can the Senators clinch? And later on in the show, Adam Coplan will be by. You heard his story on TSN. We'll recap it before we bring him on. But what an amazing initiative he and his buddies had over the weekend, walking from LeBreton Flats to the CTC. That's on the other side. You're listening to Locked On Senators, your team every day.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Indeed. Look, you realize your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? It's easy, guys. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed Sponsored Jobs puts your job at the top of the page and helps you reach the right candidates faster. Have you been in a spot where you need the right hire like yesterday? The pressure is on, you're feeling it, and every day without the right person is a setback to your business. That's exactly when Indeed Sponsors Jobs comes in handy. They make sure your post is seen by the right candidates right now. Now you can speed up your hiring process with a $75 sponsored job credit. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on the Locked On Senators podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, Indeed. It's all you need.
Today's episode is also brought to you by our great friends over at the GLEBE Central Pub. Make sure to check out the GCP where the vibes are free. You can find them at 779 Bank Street. And I stuttered there because I wanted to make sure to get this right. The GLEBE Central Pub will be running one shuttle bus for every Senators home playoff game. So space will be limited. Make sure to get your tickets when they become available at GLEBECentralPub.com in their online store. Let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. GLEBE Central Pub is also a great place to watch the game, and you get 10% off by letting them know that you're a listener of the Locked On Senators podcast. They are our longest running local sponsor. We love our friends at the GLEBE Central Pub. Show them some love is basically the same as showing us some love. We love our buddies at the GLEBE Central Pub, locally owned, locally operated. It's a neighborhood pub in the heart of the Glebe where they have great food, awesome drinks, and the atmosphere to match. The Wild Postcast on Saturday was brought to you inside the GCP with our Boots on the Ground report. It is always buzzing at the bar. They've got great food. I love the smash burger. Pilsy's a big chicken wrap guy. We also love chicken wings. Come on, get those into you. While you're watching the game, you can do it all at the GLEBE Central Pub and let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. They do still have shuttle tickets available for the game Friday against the Montreal Canadiens. Those will sell out, so make sure to get them now. Get down to the pub, 779 Bank Street, walking distance from Lansdowne, and let them know that LOSP sent you. The vibes are free at the GCP. All right, Pilsy, it is feeling like 2017 all over again. Later on in the week, we're actually going to look and compare and contrast this year's Ottawa Senators roster with the last one that made the playoffs. But today, we're looking at possible playoff clinching scenarios for the Ottawa Senators. And Pilsy, there's a world where the Ottawa Senators don't even have to win another game, and they're in.
I feel is that a fun clinching scenario or not? Like, part of me wants it to be, okay, the Sens get a win and that gets you the clinch, but also part of it is kind of cool being like, oh, it's not a Sens game day. I'm off doing other things. And then you just look at your phone and you're like, Sens clinch? Oh, sweet. Nice. Do you have a preference for how they get the clinch?
So this is a bit of a two-pronged question because I would like to win a game to clinch for sure.
It's fun. Yeah.
But tomorrow's their only road game.
True. Yeah. Clinching on the road is kind of sad. Yeah.
Right? Like if it was at the CTC, it'd be a no doubter. You just want to win on Tuesday. But the fact that we're in this scenario now and it's the one road game in Columbus, it doesn't matter to me. Just get the X next to their name on.
No, totally. And we have to preface this by like we don't care how it happens, but this is a podcast. We gotta discuss different things. But yeah, I would like to get the clinch preferably by winning a game. It's almost like here's your cookie. Like, good job with the W. Here's a little X cookie.
Exactly. So let us know in the comments. Do you care whether or not the Sens win Tuesday to clinch? Of course, you want to win on Tuesday, and we'll get to a little bit later. Like, could the Sens be third in the division? But first, let's break down. Here are the clinching scenarios. So Ottawa right now has 90 points, and the two teams on the outside looking in, the New York Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings, if they win out all of their remaining games, they would be at 91 points. Each of them have 79 right now, and they've both played 76 games. So they both have a game in hand now on the Ottawa Senators. The Red Wings have won 2 games in a row. The Habs have won 5 in a row. So like the Habs are also pulling away here. The Habs are 6 points up on both the Rangers and Red Wings. The Sens are 11 points up now. So the Rangers are playing the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. If the Rangers lose in regulation to the Lightning, the maximum number of points that they could get would be 89. That means they can't catch the Ottawa Senators. So a Lightning win would eliminate the Rangers from catching Ottawa. Detroit plays tomorrow night. And if they lose on Tuesday night in regulation to the Montreal Canadiens, the Senators would clinch a playoff spot before the result of their game is even done. So they could clinch Tuesday, even though they're playing. And if they lose, they could clinch on Tuesday. If both the Red Wings and the Rangers win their next game, then Ottawa would have to get a win, whether it's overtime or regulation. They would need 2 points to clinch.
Yeah, I personally, Ross, I don't get too wrapped up in the whole clinching scenario. We talked about this on the postcast last night. Like, for me, that's just wasting concentration calories. Like, just kind of see how it plays out. Or when it's like down to like the last 3-2 or final game, then you can start looking at those. But either way, it's exciting to look at, and it's exciting to at least be in the conversation. I feel very good that the Ottawa Senators are going to find a way to get this done here. So I'm not, again, this is a podcast, so we got to get into it. We got to discuss it. We got to have fun with it. But I'm not dialing in on all these clinching scenarios, because I have a feeling they're going to get it done without it coming down to the wire and without 7 different things falling in place.
So Sean Foisey, long-time citizen, he actually made it to the game this weekend. He had great seats too. So shout out to Sean Foisey for hitting us with the entire clinching scenario. If you're watching on YouTube, it's pulled up. If you're listening, just know the Senators are 2 points away. The magic number is 2, whether or not they get them, or the Rangers and Red Wings lose the ability to get all but 2 points left in the standings. The Senators will make the playoffs, which brings us to the divisional standings, Pillsy. It's been a while since we've taken a look at the divisional standings, but with the Florida Panthers in complete free fall mode right now, they're already in the resting players part of the season. I jokingly tweeted out saying that they should be investigated for match fixing. I mean, this was their injury list in yesterday's loss to the Detroit Red Wings. No Tkachuk, no Barkov. We knew that. They're out. Sam Reinhart, out of the lineup. Sam Bennett, out of the lineup. Aaron Ekblad, we knew is under suspension right now, so he was out. And I believe there were 1 or 2 other bottom 6, bottom pair players out of the lineup. But that's their entire top line for their opening game of the playoffs, if everybody's healthy: Barkov, Tkachuk, and Sam Reinhart. So they're already resting players. They're only 2 points up on the Ottawa Senators. 2 points, Pilsy. Now, they do have the tiebreaker, regulation wins over Ottawa. The Senators have the second tiebreaker, though, in regulation plus overtime wins. So Ottawa would have to pass the Panthers in overall points. Now, I know a lot of groaning from Sens fans being like, we want Toronto. Give us Toronto. Tampa's probably our last pick of a team to play. Look at their home record, 27-8-2, and they would have home ice in that series. They also have way better goaltending than the Toronto Maple Leafs. And when it comes to the playoffs, that really, really matters. Even though Vasilevsky has a career .895 save percentage against Ottawa, that's neither here nor there. Tampa and Toronto play on Wednesday night. There's a world where Toronto versus Ottawa is the 2-3 matchup in the Atlantic Division.
That would be so funny to have that switch from going top division team to top wildcard to 2-3. I think if you're the Florida Panthers, though, like, obviously all other fan bases can gripe and groan about what they're doing, but you're the defending Stanley Cup champions. You went to the Stanley Cup finals back-to-back seasons. You do have some banged up players in Tkachuk and Barkov. You've clinched already. Like, this is a sensible thing for them to do. And I think they're one of those teams where they have the mentality of guys that know what it takes to get it done in the playoffs, obviously, with the success they've had. So they're like, we've clinched. We don't give a damn who we play. Although I'm sure maybe part of them is like, hey, now that we've clinched, we lose a couple games. It's not the worst thing if we don't end up as the 3 seed in the Atlantic, poised to play the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we go up against the Toronto Maple Leafs instead. So it's interesting to see how all this will shake out here.
The Toronto Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators playing, as well as the Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers playing, would make for A, the highest TV ratings, and B, the best fan experience of teams that just absolutely hate each other, and fan bases that disdain for each other would just be palpable through those series. I think the hockey world deserves Toronto, Ottawa, and Tampa, Florida. So that's my preferred matchup.
Yeah, definitely. And Ross, to a lesser extent, but you would know all about this as well. Winnipeg matching up with Minnesota is a good geographical rivalry hatred as well.
And Dallas, Colorado.
Yeah, I mean there's the Rantanen ties there. Not as much history there or geographical ties, but that one makes sense too. But one thing now that we're talking about matchup scenarios. My God, am I ever getting sick of LA versus Edmonton Oilers round 1 of the playoffs? Like this will be, is this the 4th straight year or 3rd?
I believe it's the 4th.
Oh my God, they gotta find, the NHL has to find a way. You know how they made like really specific rules for the lottery that like same team can't win it? I forget what they are now because they change them every year, but basically making sure that the same team doesn't get the same result every time. They gotta find some way for in the playoffs. Edmonton and LA cannot play each other again in the playoffs in the first round.
It would be kind of funny if it's an Oilers sweep, though, because it went Oilers in 7, Oilers in 6, Oilers in 5 the last 3 years.
Just keep narrowing it down, just so the Oilers can show the NHL, like, look, this is a waste of everyone's time. We've been there. We've done this.
I think it would more be LA complaining than Edmonton.
Yes, that's actually a very good point. And Edmonton's like, hey, we got to play a couple road games in LA in April. That's okay.
Yeah, not the end of the world there. So let us know your thoughts on the playoff matchups for Ottawa. And do you want the Sens to clinch at home? Speaking of home games, Adam Coplan and his buddies have had an amazing initiative here. 2nd year in a row. We'll explain what it is and how you can get involved on the other side. You're listening to Locked On Senators, your team every day.
Today's episode is also brought to you by our friends over at Monarch Money. Have you ever looked at your bank account and you're wondering, where did all my money go? Well, between dining out, online shopping, entertainment, and so much more, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, though. It's your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Look, Monarch Money, it's not just a budgeting app, guys. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, track your investments and your spending in one simple place. So stop just managing your money. Start building your wealth. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even start planning long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever and less stress. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without all that stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNHL for half off your first year.
All right, Pillsy, we're now joined by a very special guest. If you watched yesterday's game on TSN, you heard the story in the second intermission, the walk to the CTC for Tkachuk's captains. We're here with the organizer. It's Adam Coplan. Adam, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah, happy to be here.
First question, how you feeling today? That's quite the walk, and let us know how long exactly it took you to get from LeBreton Flats to the Canadian Tire Center.
Yeah, today I am sore and I'm tired, but I am also very grateful for how that went yesterday. It was a long day. Like, we started at LeBreton at 9 a.m. and I was happy that all the boys got there on time because I wasn't really too sure about that for an early start. But we were up and at her at 9 a.m. and with a couple stops along the way, we got to the CTC at 4 p.m. So it was a 7-hour day for us. It was a long day. It was a grind, but the boys were unreal. Like, the spirits were high. The vibes were off the charts. Like, it was just a fantastic day.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were really enjoying it. What was the final step tracker count at?
Yeah, I mean, someone asked me that. I was scrolling my Twitter throughout the game yesterday, and someone was asking me, and I checked because I hadn't checked yet. And it was, at the time, it was like 42,132. And my phone was like telling me throughout the day, like, you know how like on some apps, it's like telling you when you have a workout, it's like, do you want to continue? It was like, it was a bit worried for my health. Like, it was like, would you like to stop working out now? I'm like, no, we're not quite there yet. But definitely the biggest step count I've ever had in a day, I think.
So you could take the next 4 days off, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how that works. Yeah.
Yeah, legs up. And was there any worry that you weren't going to make it there for puck drop? I mean, 5 o'clock start, you did give yourself an hour cushion, but was there any worry like, hey boys, we got to pick it up here a little bit?
So, okay. So the answer is no, but what I will say is there was one stretch of the walk It was right after we stopped at Gabriel's in Bell's Corners, and Google Maps wants you to walk when you're like planning a route for this. They want you to walk on Robertson Road, which is an 80-kilometer road with no sidewalk. So we were like, we're just not going to do that. Like that's stupid. So the detour option is that there's like kind of this like nature trail that runs parallel to Robertson Road. And given the time of year, it was not exactly walkable. Like we kind of got in there, we're like, this will be fine. The whole thing is flooded. It's like essentially a stream. And so we have to kind of like there's a photo on my Twitter about it. Like you can kind of see it, like we're like maneuvering like around the trees, like around the stream. We were like, this is setting us back like a good, 30 minutes here. But once we emerged onto Hazeldean, we really kind of hoofed it from there and made good time and made it right around 4, which was awesome.
Pillsy, you couldn't donate one of your canoe paddles?
Yeah, should have brought the life jackets. I mean, hey, that walk sounds a lot like the Ottawa Senators season. There's some smooth paths that are clear, easy to walk. And then you hit November and it's like, oh boy, how are we going to navigate this? How are we going to get around this? But at the end, you ultimately make it on the other side. Adam, I'm curious. I know you guys did this last year too. Where did the idea to do this all spark from?
Yeah, I mean, it was only 4 of us last year. One of our buddies, Alex, is actually studying in England right now, so he couldn't join us for this year. But Ethan and Liam, we did it last year, and kind of it started. I mean, during COVID, when you couldn't see each other a lot and you couldn't go hang out at each other's places, it was important for us to stay connected as friends and still do stuff. And so we started just walking. Like we would mask up, go outside, and just walk around. And then even when restrictions were lifted and we kind of got out of the pandemic mode, we kind of found ourselves still doing this. Like we're just like, hey, let's go on another walk. And we kind of started challenging ourselves to go further and further. Like let's go up and down the canal this time. Let's go 10K. Let's go 15K. And we're all Sens fans. So I was like, what if we just walk to the CTC? Like who does that? And honestly, like last year, let's be honest, it was not easy to follow the team. Like you weren't super engaged all the time. So I was like, but I really like being a fan and I value being a fan. So I'm like, what's another way for me to stay engaged with the team right now? Maybe I'll just walk to a game. Like let's set up this initiative and walk to a game. So we kind of just went with it. It was actually my dad who had a great idea to just do it for charity, like do it for a great cause. Like he's like, you guys are psychos. Like someone will donate to this. Like this is like insane. So we picked Tkachuk's captains because the Boys and Girls Club is just like unreal. Like they do such great work, and supporting the Sens Foundation is really important to us. And just supporting like Brady, like just supporting our captain for everything that he does for the city, making it known that we appreciate what he's doing. So that was like a no-brainer. And yeah, so we walked last year. It was all self-started. We raised $1,200, which was just awesome. And the Sens Foundation kind of, shot me an email and they're like, this was so great. Let's like work together on this for this year. And I was like so blown away by like, they were so awesome. I cannot say enough good things about the people there, like just like so engaged, helping us out. They made the whole donation page. Like they were just so on the ball with it. And it was like, it went so much better than I expected yesterday. And that donation number is like so much higher than I would have thought. Like, it's just unbelievable. So it kind of just started from like a ground roots, just a couple guys going on walks. That's kind of all it takes. And then, grows into something pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. And sticking to it has clearly paid off, not only for the jump getting involved with the Senators Community Foundation, but the donations have been off the charts. Reading up on last year, it was about $1,200 that you guys raised, which is great. There's no diminishing that. Yeah. But looking at the page now, we're going to put the link in our YouTube description if people want to still go. The donations are still open and available to make until the 11th. So you can go and jump in on this. You're over $8,400, man. Yeah. Like how great does that not only feel for you, but all the boys? Like, hey, we're just going on walks, and now all of a sudden we're making a real difference in the community.
It's just like, it's just so surreal. Like the whole day yesterday, we were just keeping, like, we kept checking the number like throughout the walk, and it was just like, like the day we started the day, it was like less than 3,000. And then we get to like 6 hours, we get to the arena and it's like, we're at 8K. Like, it was just like, we were so blown away. It feels great. Like I know the guys, like they deserve a shout out for this too. Like, you got to have some pretty awesome friends to just, you ask them, do you want to walk 25 kilometers with me in April? And they're like, yes, like, let's just do it. So like, they were such troopers, and they all did, a great job in promoting it themselves, leading up to it. And I know they got some friends and family to donate, and it was just to see that number, like we were so blown away, like just the support that we were getting, and like the difference that I know that this is going to make, for the people down there at BGC Ottawa. It means like so much. So it was like an awesome day. And that number, like, I still can't believe that number. And I'm sure it'll get bigger by the time the 11th rolls around when we finally close the donations.
And we always say that Brady Tkachuk is the exact same guy off camera, just when you see him outside of interviews, that sort of thing, as he is on. You guys got the chance to meet him when you got to the game. One, did you know that was going to happen? And two, what was your impression after getting to spend a few minutes with the captain?
I did not know that was going to happen. I mean, when we started at 9, when we met with the foundation at LeBreton, Emma, Brady Tkachuk's wife, Emma was there with Ryder. And so she sent us off, and she, was saying how much she
awesome.
That was awesome. Like, she's fantastic. She was so nice. And I didn't know that we were meeting Brady. We walked, they laid out the red carpet for us, which was pretty cool. And we kind of walked around, and
the welcoming committee. You guys look like Terry Fox coming in.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was just, the whole day was wild. And then, like Ian Mendez is there, and Jackson Starr, gives me a talk, and they're like, we're going to bring you down to meet Brady. And the guys were just so fired up. And he is like the nicest guy. Like, I know everybody says it and everybody knows, but like, just to echo, like, he is the nicest guy. He comes in his Crocs, obviously.
Yep.
And he, just talks to us. He shakes your hand. He's like so appreciative of what we're doing. And like, he's nursing an injury. Like, he doesn't have to do this. Like, he's taking time out of his day, like right before a game, like out of his day. I know he didn't play, but like, he's coming out, he's giving us the time. It's just so unreal. And, you could see like why a guy like that is leading this initiative. Like, it just makes so much sense. Like, he's just such a beauty, and we are so lucky to have him. So for him to stop by, take a few pictures, like just say hi, it was unreal. So definitely shout out to Brady for that. It was sweet.
Yeah, Brady's the best. There's a reason why he's the captain in the face of this franchise. Adam, final question for me is, all right, so this is now your second year doing it. You've seen some growth. You've seen more people come together for this cause and doing the walk, and the team's helping you out. What's the plan for the future for this?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to like get through and rest up today, to be honest. But I know that they really liked how the foundation really liked how it went this year, and I know that they're almost certainly open to keeping it going for next year, and I would love that. Like, it's interesting. I'm not really sure what it'll look like next year. Like, obviously, last year it was me and my buddies. This year it was like more of me and my buddies, and I still really like the fact that it's like, in somewhat of like a selfish personal way, that it's like just like my friends and I are doing this thing, and it's great. But I also do kind of like the idea of making this, opening it up to like the public in some way, because we got a lot of people commenting on stuff and asking like, how do I join this? Like, how do I do this? And like, that is super exciting for me. Like, people are like super fired up about this, and they're getting on board. So I'm not sure what next year's going to look like, guys. Like, I don't have an answer for that right now. All I know is like, we will be back and we will be walking. I can almost guarantee you that. But I'm excited to see how it goes. Like, I'm sure we'll figure something out, and it'll be hopefully bigger and better than ever next year.
I got 2 ideas for you. One, do it November 1st, because November's been a cursed month for the Ottawa Senators. So let's get the vibes rolling early on in the season in November. And 2, get the public involved, but have it like know what your route's going to be on the way there, and have it be like Mighty Ducks. You're picking up people as you're going, and then by the end, you got 18,500 people walking into the CTC at the same time. Adam, this is an amazing initiative. We can't thank you enough for coming on and shedding some extra light on it. We were just going to give you stick taps at the end of the show, and I was like, let's just reach out. Let's try to get Adam on, and sure enough, I knew you'd have your feet up today, so I figured it'd be a good time to get you on. Final question for me, man. Sens are closer to a playoff spot than they have been in the last 7 years. What's your take on the team right now? You're at the game yesterday. What'd you see on the ice? And what are you expecting here in the next weeks or maybe months?
This has been so exciting. Like, to the last like month and a half to watch the team, like the people, like the fans deserve this, man. Like, we are like foaming at the mouth for this. This is like, we're so fired up. The game yesterday was like, you could not have picked a better game to walk 7 hours to. Like, that was like a shutdown, like 60 minutes, just like score a couple quick ones, pull the goalie. Like, they're looking unreal. I was talking to my buddies, like, I don't like to jinx things. Like, they're making the playoffs. And I was like, when I watched this first game, this is going to be like this playoff game 1, whenever it is, this is going to be like a religious experience. Like, it's going to be like, we've waited so long for this. People deserve it. We deserve it. The team deserves it. And like, the energy in the city is just so crazy right now. It's just such an exciting time. So just fired up to keep supporting the boys and watching them in the playoffs.
Well, hey, man, you're doing your part for sure, and we can't wait to see what's next for the team. And we know everybody's already following you on Twitter at Adam Coplan. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks so much for this great initiative. Just a few buddies, guys being dudes type situation, and it turns out to be a great cause for the community. So thanks for everything that you've done, man.
Thanks for having me on, guys. This was awesome.
Stick taps to Adam for joining us. Really fun conversation there. Pilsy, any final thoughts on today's show?
Well, first off, Ross, I like that they started at LeBreton Flats, going from the new arena site to the old one, a bit of a pilgrimage, and hopefully, when the arena's at LeBreton Flats, they got to do the reverse. They got to start in Canada and walk all the way to LeBreton Flats. But yes, love that initiative from Adam and his buddies raising money for a good cause. The link to support and donate towards them is still up and running, I believe, till April 11th. So if you feel so inclined to do that, go right ahead. Ross, I'm feeling good. Like, it's we've had a lot of Mondays on this show where, especially in April, where we're not feeling good and we're not looking at the standings. It's great to not have Tankathon pulled up. I haven't thought about that website for a long time. It's so much more refreshing to have playoff odds as the percentages I'm looking at here. So it's a great time to be on the Locked On Senators podcast.
You don't want to run the Tankathon meter just for fun?
Nope.
Me neither. Final thoughts from me is just this stretch for the Ottawa Senators. Like, don't forget, these guys came back from 4 nations, lost 2 games in a row, and were 4 points out of a playoff spot when we went to the game against San Jose. We made the bet with Tim Stutz, hey, you guys win against San Jose, and we will get the buzz cuts. Since we made that bet, not accomplished it, because obviously they beat San Jose first, but we made the bet with them on Thursday night at the Sens Gala. The Senators are 13-4-2 in their last 19 games. It's just incredible what the Senators have been able to do down the stretch here. And I know we get caught up in each and every game, and it's a great 3-game win streak right now where they've allowed 1 goal in 3 games.
Yep.
But long term, what they've done over their last 19 games with only 4 regulation losses is truly incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. And to do a lot of that, Ross, without Brady Tkachuk, having to use multiple goalies here up against good teams that are also battling for playoff position, it's amazing. So a lot of credit to the coaching staff, to the players, to the management. Everyone deserves credit here.
And they brought this up on the broadcast on Sunday. 4 out of 4 games on TSN too. What a week. We're so spoiled here as Ottawa Senators fans. The Senators became only the 3rd team in NHL history to have 3 different goalies get 3 or more shutouts in a single season. The 03-04 Calgary Flames and the 2013-14 LA Kings are the only other teams. Both teams made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. The Flames lost in Game 7 to Tampa, and the LA Kings won the Stanley Cup in 2014. I'll leave you with that on today's show. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. We'll be back tomorrow with a game day preview in Columbus. And later on this week, we will compare and contrast this Ottawa Senators team against 2017. We're also going to look at the evolution of Thomas Chabot and how he's had to grind through a million different D partners to finally find his true love, Nick Jensen. Stay with us later in the week for that. For today, we say goodbye. Thank you for liking, watching, listening, and engaging with the show. This has been another edition of the Locked On Senators podcast, your team every day.